Today, I want to make this topic based off a question a young lady asked me earlier this week. And she asked me, how can I get a man to do the things that I want him to do? I thought this was a fantastic question, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. All right, so the very first thing you need to know is you can't teach a man how to be a man. So the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you pick a man with the right type of qualities. You want to know, is this a man who has determination to go after the things he wants in life? Does he have a giving personality? When y'all first went out on a date, did he pay for the date? Or when y'all go out, does he make sure that you guys are both having a good time, or it's all about him? Right? So this is very important, because if a man doesn't have these characteristics, then you're not going to get what you want out the man in the first place. It is not your job to, fix a man, right? That's not or build him up. That's not your job. Also, you want to be very careful about giving your man unsolicited advice on how to be better. Most likely this will only irritate him, and he's not going to do it anyway. Reason for that is because men can be prideful, and we don't like being told what to do, especially by women. And so some of you may be thinking, well, if I don't tell him what to do, then how's he gonna know how to do it? Right? So this is where you use your feminine wiles, right? I don't know if you ever heard that term, but it's not about telling a man what to do, but persuading him. And you do that by expressing your feelings. So what you don't want to do is, like, oh, I want you to take me here, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, right? This is controlling masculine behavior. So you want to use feminine behavior to persuade him, right? So you can do something like, say, hey babe, how come you don't take me out anymore? I used to love it when we used to go here, but now I feel unappreciated because you don't take me out anymore, right? So what's great about this is you're starting off with an open-ended question, and that's going to let you know exactly where you stand with the man. If he's not taking you out like you want him to anymore, it could be for a reason. Maybe he's not feeling the relationship anymore. Maybe it's something that you did that prompted him to be standoffish. Maybe he's just unaware of how neglectful he is. And, by asking this question, now he's like, oh, my bad. I ain't know, I just been busy lately. We can plan something this weekend, right? So that lets you know exactly where you stand with the man. And then you followed it up by saying how much you loved going out, right? The man needs to know how happy you are when you guys go out, so he'll know to continue that behavior. And then you ended it with, I don't feel appreciated, because we're not doing this anymore, right? This is where you tug on the heartstrings of the man that you're with, right? Because if the man truly cares about you, he hates to see you sad. Now, on the opposite end, if you came at the guy aggressive and angry, like, you don't never do this and you don't never do that, right now, that's combative energy. And so, he's going to be combative back. He's going to be defensive, like, oh, well, you didn't do this and you didn't, right? So now that gives him the ability to try to combat, right? So you want to show your vulnerable side, because that's your feminine side. Men react much better to feminine energy than masculine energy. The next thing you want to do is reinforce positive behavior. Show appreciation for the little things. A lot of women get in this mindset of, oh, well, that's what you're supposed to do. So, why should I, show appreciation for that? That's what you're supposed to be doing. But if you don't let a man know that you appreciate the things that he's doing, then why should he continue doing those things, right? You guys call men dogs all the time, right? Well, if you're training a dog and trying to get him to roll over, and then he finally rolls over, what do? Right? You pet his head, you rub his belly, you give him a treat, you say, good boy, right? And so the dog will continue to respond to your commands because he knows he's going to be treated afterwards. men aren't much different. And I'm not telling you to like over compliment the guy, but guys just want to know that their good deeds don't go unseen, right? So if the guy is, holding the door open for you, pulling out your chair at dinner, you know what I mean? You can simply say thank you, or just say, oh, you're such a gentleman. Or, after the night is over, you can say, man, I really appreciate, how you had everything so planned out, and, let him know that you enjoyed yourself on the date. Guys just want to know that they are appreciated. And that kind of reminds me of that little video where the dude is at the movie theater and he's ordering all this stuff. Let me get a large popcorn, a large drink. And the girl's like, oh my God, yeah, big baller. You know what I mean? Like, you got to big up your man. You got to big him up so he'll know, like, hey, yo, my lady loves it when I do this. So he'll know to continue doing this. And this leads right into focusing on the positive things, not the negative things. And this works particularly well in the bedroom. A lot of women get nervous about telling a man what they want and don't want in the bedroom because they don't want to hurt the man's ego. So instead of focusing on the things you don't like, focus on the things you do like. So when you're in bed, with your man, and you can say, oh, I love it when you touch me here. Oh, I love it when you do that. Not just a little bit higher, a little bit lower. Yeah, yep, that's it. That's the spot. That's it, right? So this is a very subtle way of kind of telling a man what to do without actually telling him what to do. Now, if a guy comes and asks you, hey, babe, what do you like? What do you don't like? How can I improve? Now that's open season to say pretty much whatever you want. Yeah, I want it this way. I want it this way. Well, since you asked, blah, 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 right? Once he asks, now that opens it up. If a man isn't asking, it might be because he has a fragile ego and he maybe, he doesn't want that advice. So you don't want to, give unsolicited advice on how to do this, this, and this. You know what I mean? It's going to seem like you're nagging or complaining. Focus on what he's doing right, and then say, hey, I really like it when you do it this way. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It sends a lot more positive of a message. The last point I want to touch on when it comes to getting a man to do what you want him to do is building his confidence to do it. For example, let's say, you got a man, but he's been very complacent with his career. You want to see him elevate himself, all right? You want to first open up with a question like we did before. Say, hey, have you thought about, getting a promotion or finding a better job? If he says yes, great. Now you can, let him know, like, yo, it's so sexy how ambitious you are. Like, I love that about you, like that you're striving for better things. You need to, encourage him to kind of, continue on that path of finding a better job and getting a promotion. Now, if he says no, you still want to support his decision. However, you want to let him know how much potential you see in him. Like, I think it's great that you're doing this, but I think you can do so much more things. Like, I see it in you. A lot of guys, their vision isn't that far. They don't. It's never been told to them that they can be better. So you need to let him know that, yeah, you could strive for so much more. Or, you know what I mean? Like, if he wants to go for that manager position, just like, oh man, I think you'll be great as a manager. You have to build him up. If you want your man to be a CEO, you have to treat him like a CEO at home. And that's going to build his confidence, and then he's going to start thinking like, you know what, maybe I can get that management position. Maybe I can do this, right? So you got to build his confidence, big him up, let him know, like, yeah, you the man, like, you can do that. You can, I think you kill that interview. Like, hype him up, be his biggest cheerleader. All right. So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you thought of the video. What points did you agree with? What points did you disagree with? Leave your comments below and let me know what you thought. And if you got anything out this video, hit that like button. This is Agree to Disagree. I'm out.